Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Urban Frontlines Duel between Super Pershing 1945, currently going by the name Cucumber Estimate, and he's playing 8th US. And he's going up against Frenchie, and he's playing as the 90th Czechoslovakians. So we'll go through the deck review, then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game, and as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for Super Pershing, going under the name Cucumber Estimate or something. He's playing 8th US, a division we see a lot simply because it's one of the oldest divisions in the game, and it's still playable. So we'll go through it tab by tab. First things first, 3 cards of supply I think is a good idea. I don't rate the Helo supply in a 1v1 at all. I personally would just bring 2 of these. Then in terms of the CVs, right, so we got 2, 4, 6, which is fine. I really like this because you can just buy 2 at the start for the price of 1 mutt. Then for CVs in the infantry tab, your choices are 6 men with recoilless rifle and smoke, 11 guys with no AT or smoke, 6 guys with AT and smoke, and they cost 25 points less. So I personally prefer this one. I can see the advantage of having a Helo droppable infantry CV though, because in some situations you will need it. I would bring... So if you want a fire team law, right? I mean, why do you want a fire team law, really? So what's the point of this? Just get rid of that. Because, yeah, you could say it's nice to have something like this at 1 vet because like you can use it for flank defense and stuff, but you could also do that with the MP Patrol M67, right? And it's got the military police vehicle. And then, yeah, Mech Rifles Law, Mech Rifles Dragon Rangers. Air Cav Troopers are trash for the price, so it's just better to pay 10 points more for Rangers Dragon. Especially if you're going to be like mega vetting them, which I don't really recommend, to be honest. I think you need, if it's a long game, you are going to run out of infantry, basically. So I recommend the Rangers Dragon over the Air Cav Troopers. By the way, the M60 is like one of the worst machine guns in the game. So, yeah, Rangers Dragon are better. So then you can get that in the Helo, and you can 2-vet it if you really want, but... you get the MMGs, right, it's half the price, and it does like 2/3 of the damage. So I think the MMG team's better. The Ito, I'd bring in a car, not an M113, because, well, don't you want it to get there in time? And this isn't really going to help you in that situation. So, 113, Dragon, yeah. So that's all good. You can also, this must have been filled, right? So you can bring like a second card of Mech Rifles, so it can be whichever one you want. Let's say Mech Rifles Law, right? Or you can bring Engineers, 10 guys for 50 points, it's not too bad. But they've only got, it's not actually that amazing, but... Yeah, you can bring another card of Mech Rifles Law, for example. Or you can bring another card of Mech Rifles Dragon, it's really up to you. Or you can leave that slot empty. But yeah, I think it's much better like that, personally. RT, so you want a self-propelled mortar for smoke. And if you want, I mean, realistically, right, you got 3 cards of supply, you want 2 of these. In terms of the mortars for smoke, this one goes further, and the smoke clouds are bigger. This one aims faster, and you get 1 more of them. So you can bring this, like, if you had 2 cards of supply, this would be better because you could just use it until it runs out and not resupply it. I personally prefer this one, 10 points more, but, it is what it is. This is still viable. Tanks, so 1 card M60s, 1 card M1s, this needs to be at 1 vet. It's so useless at no vet. So 3-pointer. 1 card CVs. Yeah, so you could get rid of, right, so that, because you've down-vetted some of your infantry, you can come back and, so let's say down-vet that, and now you can get rid of one of these. And now you could get this, right? Oh, that's a 3-pointer. Now you could get 2 cards of M1A1s at 1 vet. The CEV is good. against infantry and stuff. I prefer it up vetted, but the AVRE I bring down vetted, just because this can actually survive a TOE2 hit from the front. But they do tend to die a lot because of how close you have to bring them, and a side shot will one-shot them, and I've got that bug again. Wish they'd fix this, man. Anyway, like, your infantry tab's a mess. Sorry, your recon tab's a mess. You've got no infantry recon except 3 snipers. You need the LRS, and then you need a card of these guys. Because otherwise you won't be able to see anything. So that brings me to this, I suppose. Like, so you need to swap out one of these, basically. It doesn't matter which one it is, but you don't need that much AA. Helis, so let's just get rid of a hog. And then, right, so just don't... This div, I know it's like, wow, you could air spam. You really can't. So you just can't. You can try, but it just doesn't work. So you can go for something like that. And that can work. And the reason for the A10 is that you would have a recon helo here as well, something like this. Which would mean that you'd have to make sacrifices somewhere. Like here, right? So Chappy or Pivads, pick one. And then you can bring a recon helo, and then you can actually see. You can swap this out for this with the you know, this or the ACAV if you want. Pretty sure that's what I've done. Or I just have another thing here and I don't bring a lot of infantry at all. And now you can get this. Incredible, incredible. So switching to his opponent, we've got... I'll just show you my 8th deck real quick. So tank tab, yeah, so I've got the TOE2 instead of the ITO, I prefer that. And I actually do have a card of Fireteam AT4. Oh wow, I've not played this since... Yeah, so this basically just needs to be an MMG team. Like 100%. Not sure how that happened. And as you can see, I don't bring this, I bring this instead in the ACAV, because the ACAV can still do a bit of flank defense. I mean, this is useful because of the mediocre stealth and stuff, but you're not playing as 8th. You're not playing as 3rd armoured, where you really do need this, so I prefer the infantry with the ACAV, pivads and so on, Toko Hog, and yeah, as you can see. So basically, I've just said do it exactly like I do it, but I mean, it is what it is, right? And we've got Frenchie playing as 19th Czech, which is a very good division because it just gets loads of T-72s. So, the infantry here, so you get Moto Strelki for 40 points, and for also 40 points you get the same but with a better machine gun, with a better RPG, so why wouldn't you go for that as much as possible, as he has? In terms of, so like this is actually better, that like if you have the option of this or the MG teams, this can be better. The width you get from the MG teams is really nice, like you can just put them everywhere, but this is a very cheap combo to begin with, so I would get the grenade launcher. 2 cards of supply, 3, 4, 5, 7 CVs, which is fair enough really. You could swap this out for this, so you could buy 2 at the start, and for some reason this comes at 2 vet for free, so whatever. 8 Visa Kari is a lot, frankly. I don't know if that's a good idea. Like, you don't have any satchels or anything. I suppose this is a satchel. You want that at 1 vet, really, if that's what's getting there first. So, because you don't have any airborne forward deployed, right? So this is what's getting there first. So you need a 1 vet so it can actually do something. Not bringing shippers is an interesting choice. Like, so this can actually come at no vet, because the whole point is this just sits in a bush and it's got mediocre stealth and it shoots Mayukas at people. But yeah, not bringing shippers is an interesting choice because they've got ground surveillance radar, or at least RT shippers does. Yeah. So that brings me back to this. 8 Visa Kari, but you need satchels really, right? I mean, Visa Kari are nice. You need some satchels, really. Like, what happens if you're in a town fight? I mean, you got 4 of these. They'll die pretty quick because they're recon. So Something like the Zenitsu. This is so good for 35 points. Because the point is SMGs are good at close range. Well, that's where you're going to be. So, yeah, super nice card, this, in my opinion. It's not very flashy, but in terms of cost efficiency, it's very good. BMP 1s, BMP 2s, I think that's all good. So that's a 3-pointer. RT, so yeah, for some reason this thing goes 8,000 meters on 120mm mortar. But, like, this is the self-propelled version for 5 points more. And it's got conkers on it, and you don't have to tow it and stuff. It's 5 points more. So that's a no-brainer, really. This is Pact's only self-propelled smoke-throwing mortar. And then, you know, it's 1 point slot, right? So yeah, you can bring 2 of these. It is nice for later on in the game. It is nice. Unless there's another 1 point slot somewhere. So it's like, do you want these upvetted, or do you want 1 card of Danners and then 1 more Hilo? Oh yeah, never mind. I'd leave it like that. Tanks, so Conkers, CV tank. These things are good at the start of the game, and then yeah, just 10 Guerrillian T-72s, all good. Recon we've spoken about at length. This thing is good against Hilos. This thing's good against planes, and yeah. Yeah, you might as well go for the Igloo. Although I mean, do you need 9 of those? Why not get 6? Maybe you do need 9 of those, I wouldn't know. This thing is really good at 2-vet, but you only get 3. The autocannon does much better at 2-vet. And yeah, I prefer this one as well, because of the mega range rockets. It's just better, right? And then we've got 6 fighters, a rocket plane, so you open with this, 2 of these and this, and you can kill stuff. And then a seed plane. What is the purpose of the seed plane? It's a genuine question, like, why do you want it? You want it to kill AA so your SU-25 rocket can do stuff? Okay, fair enough. You know, that's certainly something. Or you could use it against Helos, but you've got this against Helos, so I think, given, like, do you need Seed to protect 1 card of bombers? Does it really make any sense? Wouldn't you rather just bring 2 cards of bombers? Because, like, the Seed is meant to protect this. And it's not even going to do a very good job of that. I mean, you know, it's good against helicopters, but you've got something for that. So, yeah. Anyway, that's enough deck yappage. Now we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments of the game, and as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, Urban Frontlines, very straightforward. Most people fight over here. Red can come attack India, or they can try and push through to Foxtrot, but that tends to be quite difficult because you just put a guy in here and a guy in here. It can be kind of hard to do it. If you're on the blue side, you want to fight in middle as much as possible, because even though, like, your flanks are less cool, right? Foxtrot's a lot easier to attack than Bravo, for example. You have 4 buildings in mid, which gives you a nice advantage in mid, because you can put fire support in there. Now, as you know from the deck review, I don't like these 12.7mm, but there is one situation in this game where they are better than MMG teams, and that is on this map, here. Because here, an MMG team in here cannot shoot at these buildings, but a HMG team in these buildings can shoot at the opposite buildings. Isn't that crazy? That 200 extra, because look at that, that's the 1500 meter line there. So 1400 meters, you can engage these targets. 1200 meters, you can't. So his decision to bring HMGs in this situation, this very specific situation that you don't know you're going to get if you go into the ranked ladder, has paid off, which is quite funny. His opponent has decided to go for 7.62s instead of the grenade launcher. Now, the grenade launcher is better than the 7.62s, generally speaking. So you should bring that if you can, and if you can't, you should bring the MMGs. But in this situation, as you can see, the MMGs would not be able to. Well, just believe me, bro, they can't shoot, but the HMGs can. And he's gone for the MMGs instead of the grenade launchers. The grenade launchers also get 1400 meters range, and they would also be able to shoot that. So that's pretty funny. Looking at the deployments, so we've got some BMP-1 recon things going out. Some more over here. Typically, you'd want to open with your wheeled stuff, but the opponent's deployment's really weird as well. So we've got 2 ERPs and 2 Mi-17 Vizakaris from the meme, and the Vizakaris are going to be dropping over here. The Vizakari beam. You guys know about that, right? I should remake it, but who can be bothered, honestly? Anyway, 762 team to there, CB for Echo Delta Bravo Alpha. And then we've got 762 team, 762 team, 762 team, BMP1, 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 Jacasta. So yeah, no satchel infantry. And a Conquer's here apparently. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got 8th, and he hasn't brought the LRS, which is like absolutely mind-blowing to me that you would play 8th without the LRS. His only infantry recon are 3 sniper teams, 2 of which he's opening with. One's going here, one's going here. They will get there first, because they're airborne forward deployed, and nothing here is. We've got an M150 on the left, trying to cover all the bases. A fighter to protect the 2 vet air cav troop. They shouldn't be crossing here. That will make them get there slightly slower because you've slightly extended the path length. It's not a big deal, but so we got that's pretty funny actually. We've got 2 heli deployments. Although, I mean, we'll see if Red bought a jet. Otherwise, you know, because if you're gonna do this, you need a jet to defend them. Otherwise, they're gonna get shot down. Hopefully I'm right, I haven't seen the game yet. Fireteam 84, an M60 CV, these 40-point CVs, man, so useful, so useful. I've noticed a lot more people bringing them since I made the video, which is good. Although it probably be... So yeah, this is something you got to watch out for. When you path something to here, it will do this. And if the enemy has airborne forward deployment, you will die here. So you need to make sure that you path it to... Shift path it to here, and then hold shift, and then right click over here, you know, and then shift U or something. So here and then there. Otherwise it will do this. It's very annoying. Just an idiosyncrasy of the map. So 50 cal, fire team law, apparently. I mean, spoke about that in the deck review as well. Doesn't make much sense to me. Stinger team, Ito in an M113. Also doesn't make much sense to me. Ito, M60. Great, let's see what happens. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest levels worth 2,000 views in ad revenue equivalent, so it's a great way to support the channel. Here you go, so he's opened 2 MiG-21s, so if you're blue in this case, you want to... Okay, he's doing the thing. He's spread out too much. So this should 1v1 that, and then 1v1 the next one. Oh my gosh, I've just made this guide on that. And it's a shame, because I could have used this as a great example. Anyway, this is now free to engage the Black Hawk, which should make it, really. I mean, because, yeah, it already used a lot of its missiles. So you could try and use the guns on it. But it takes so long to come back around. Thing is, this thing's going to shred everybody. You'll notice he's got no ground-based AA. Oh no, he's got a Stinger team here, actually. It's pretty useful. So it looks like the Vizakari is going to get in. This I would just sell. This I would send backwards and not towards this. Okay, he's bought another fighter. You might get that Vizakari. That's huge, actually, because that's 105 points. Now he needs to turn into the... you need to right-click it, near it. You cannot rely on this auto-targeting thing. It's you really got to babysit your planes. Anyway, looks like he's going to get out there. I would not fly towards... Yeah, okay, you noticed the cub. So the ERP goes down to the Stinger. The aircraft troopers are actually getting in. The Black Hawks are shooting the second Vizakari. And the 50 cal is engaged. Wow, incredible gameplay. Anyway, this, you know, once they get a bit low, you can just sell them, but it's like he's just trying to buy time, really, and it's working out for him. This he can send over to here to also shoot at that, and the M60 should start cleaning up these MMG teams, and look at that. This can't shoot this, but this can shoot this. Isn't that incredible? So yes, in this specific situation, a 50 cal team is better than an MMG team. I mean, in general, 50 cal teams are better than MMG teams. The main issue is that this costs 30 points and this costs 15, and this is not twice as good as this. It's about 30% better, something like that. So, this guy really needs to get out of there, and he is. You see the power of these Justerka thing. I say it wrong every time, but that's everything in this game. So, going well for blue so far. And honestly, a lot of it came down to that fighter micro at the start. So the two fighters went outwards and then inwards. You don't do that. You leave them together, one behind the other, but offset. I've got a guide on it. I've just made it. So I'll link that in the description, and you'll be able to see that. It's just a shame that I just made it, because I could have used that as another example. It's a really good example. The guide's already got 2 examples in it. How to do it, how not to do it with 2 planes. Anyway, so this one CV gaming, right? 1 CV versus 2. Now in the deck review, we actually spoke about this. This could have been swapped out for 2 40 pointers like this, and the ones that the Czechs get are better because for whatever reason they just come at 2 vet instead of 1 vet. So it's actually better than this. Who knows why? Anyway, the M60s are doing a lot of work here. Okay, so this has been sent in. You need to land this really... So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was a mistake to buy that helo, basically. And if you do buy it, you need the fighter up. Like, you need the fighter up when the helo's up. Not on standby, not waiting. That was a good hit, actually, because that was very expensive. Quite surprised he chose to put that there, given... He knows this thing is here because it's been shooting him. So the HMGs on tanks are pretty useful against infantry. Like, they do most of the damage, from what I understand. And that's why tanks like the Chieftain and the Challenger 2 are still overpriced. It's because they've not factored in the fact that they're useless against infantry. Because they don't have HMGs. It's something people just don't really notice. Basically, I should just be in charge of everything. So I can have a breakdown and quit when things don't go my way. So, just going for that Igla. This is the issue with heli-borne stuff, right? So yeah, I was going to say, the chance of that hitting that twice is very low. But now he needs to buy another fighter because... Oh no, he only has 2 fighters. Oh, here it is. Great. Because I was going to say, if I'm red, I'm buying one of those MiG-21s, so I'm just sending it... Oh, whoa! It's incredible. I don't watch these ahead of time. You don't have to. Anyway, I can hear the sound of his escort going the wrong way. Yeah, it's dead. It's just the same problem as last time. It's hard to do, but basically you gotta hotkey that stuff, and if you're using a helo, you need to be very aware. Where is that helo? Is there AA under it, right? If you've got something like an iHawk here or whatever, then you don't need it, but if you've got the fighter has to be in position, because, I mean, look at, like, these are big ticket items. He did kill that, but he lost 120 point helo, and it's happened twice now, so that's almost a minute's income. So this is the issue with stacking these buildings. So you never want to put 2 in one building, like the Stinger could have been here, for example. Did he interrupt that? Oh, it's not a Malka, it's a Pion. So it's not actually as good as I thought it was. Maybe the Dana is a better option then. Maybe not, actually. Against top players, 2 rounds is the 3rd round tends to miss anyway because they just move. Oh, it's happening again. This is really something, man. Is he? I mean, it's just the same shit. No fighter using a helo. So hopefully he learns his lesson. I mean, he's bought the iHawk now, but he's now lost 3 helos. He does have 6. Oh. No, I thought it was going to be a side shot. So you see the power of these M60s at killing infantry, basically. I mean, it's at 2 vet. And yeah, this is... Like, Brit tanks are just terrible, generally, in the game. Obviously, in real life, they're the best tanks in the world. But in the game, they're kind of overpriced, because these are the sort of things that are just... they're not taking into account the fact that they turn so slow. This also is quite slow on the turning. But like, the M60 is really nice for the price because it costs the same as a Chieftain Mark 9 and it's better in almost every way. It's got a long range gun, it's got like 3 more ROF, it's got a HMG, and I believe it's faster. The only disadvantage it has is it does less pen. There's like 3 less pen. So there's certain situations. So at like very close ranges, if you just pop out of a forest, with a Chieftain Mark 9, you can like one-shot a BMP2 or a BMP3 at relatively close range, whereas the M60 wouldn't one-shot it. At max range, it'll take both 2 shots, 2 hits. But yeah, basically the Chieftain Mark 9 needs to come down some more. But yeah, I mean, it's a hard sell because if I bring it up, people are just like, well, it's just nationalism, basically. And so they don't listen to me. And none of the top players play UK because it's shit, right? And so, apart from Mbad, I guess. Mixed 90 plays a lot of Mbad. So you see the 50 cal, right? Spoke about that a bit. And thankfully he stopped buying helos. He's bought 2 Eyehawks now, which is a good idea. Oh, no, never mind, it's Helo here. I wonder if that is shooting at that. It sort of is, I mean... So, I mean, realistically, you always want an infantry about here if you're blue. Like, I suppose that's what this is. The other thing you always want on this map is a smoke mortar. I've noticed, like, basically everybody, or like a good 90% of people bring mortars for smoke now because I just talk about it constantly. But then, like, most of them just don't use it. They bring it because they know they should, and then in the game they just don't bring it. Urban Frontlines is, gotta be careful with these helos, man. This thing is really good against it, but like, as soon as you see that, you shouldn't be trying to fight it, you should just run away. Yeah. Urban Frontlines is amazing for smoke mortars because of this middle zone, right? So you just, if you're on this side, you smoke here. And then you just drive the CV up, cap it, and then get it back. And they can't do anything about it unless they've got infantry like up to here, or, you know, up to here. On the other side, it's the same story. So this is going to be an issue. So you have to sort of come in this way. Obviously he's lost a lot of ground here. Taking a lot of bad trades, but so you can come and hide behind this, so you don't actually need the smoke mortar, you can hide behind this, but generally, like, the issue is you're going to get shot from here, but you would smoke like here, and then just drive it up through here into this smoke, hide in there, and then come back. Obviously if the enemy's pushed up to here, you're going to have a problem, but there's just so many occasions where you get blue here, red here, and neither side can get in the middle, or whoever got in the middle last just is in the middle, because as soon as they get in, the other side shoots them from like this position, and all these, right? And so that's what the smoke's for. Super useful on this map. But honestly, like red, he bought like 4 or 5 fighters. He's buying this heavy arty. He's lost too many units. Blue's big on units. He's got a lot of units. Like, red's opener didn't go very well, and issue with these sniper teams, right, they got very low HP. So the thing is, his only recon infantry are 3 sniper teams, 2 of which I think are now dead. This might have been from the initial thing. So there's your MiG-21s, right, dies in 1 hit to an Nighthawk. These need to move now. Look, he's pinged it, which means he's going to shoot it. I tell people to do that as well. I say as soon as it fires, F1 click, and then you don't have to, and then, you know, F1 click, F1 click. Otherwise you got to remember where it is, and you're going to forget. But look, he's moving them, so this is good. It's good to see people doing things properly. So now this needs to move. Should have moved last time, really, because if he'd gone for this one first, he would have... Oh, I see, he's going to move and then shoot. Interesting. Yeah. So this is better because, although this has more range, so the dispersion circle's tighter actually, but this has a 3 salvo length, which is helpful. So this needs to smoke now. M60s don't beat T-72s. Obviously in real life they do, right? Because in Iraq, think that's the only time M60s have gone up against T72s. The M60s won. He was just training. He was just training. If East Germany had gone to war, they would have won. Anyway, so this is sort of why I don't like using 8th US as an air spam div, because like this is probably dead. Oh, he had this on a tap. Oh no, okay. I don't watch these ahead of time, but I predicted that would happen, and that's 3 availability. Sorry, 3 AP, 1 per card, and then you got to have the seed out to protect it as well. Although he, you know, oh, he actually hit one, and he should make it out because this has 22% accuracy and this has 40% ACO. So obviously this should have been in front of the LGBT, right? So that it wouldn't have died. But you just got to think about like how much, because the air slots are really expensive. I just don't think it's worth it to do it. If you want to kill tanks, buy an M1A1 or buy 2 M10s, and oh, that's a good idea actually. So this is a big part of air spam, is the artillery. You don't just air spam. You where's the 3rd round? Weird. He's not moving it. He needs to move it between volleys. The other thing is, because you open with 2 of these, right? 1 should be contesting the middle zone, that sort of thing. And while this isn't active, you leave it next to the Eyehawks. You can supply it, right? Move this Eyehawk up to about here, maybe. And just, like, have it near the Eyehawk so it's got a rank of vet. Or you can have it... Like, so if guys are constantly getting hurt and coming back to get resupplied, you can have the CV next to them, because they'll be higher vet when they're next to the CV, and that'll make them recover their suppression faster. For example, I suppose these are 2 vet by default for some reason. And the second one, basically like this one, should be with the arty, and that's another advantage of having these 40-point CVs. It's a lot to remember though. I mean, you know, I don't do everything I say you should do all the time. I try, but there's often a disconnect between, well, there's always a disconnect between like knowledge and execution. Most people have the knowledge because, I mean, if you're watching my videos, you've got the knowledge because I just harp on about this stuff constantly. But it's when it comes to the execution, can you do this at the same time as 20 other things while somebody's trying to kill you? Well, so it gets a lot harder. Right, you've seen this land immediately. Okay, he's gone for the runaway instead. It worked out. It worked out. So he's pushing this side, which is... it's a good idea. I mean, there's nobody there. It can be worth having like a... it's not in his deck, right? But like a recon helo, what's over here? Oh, interesting. There's one guy, you know. That LGBT you had could be used on this. You can see how these games kind of compound, right? Because if that if the seed had gone out first, the LGBT would still be alive, and then that could just come and kill this, right? Or come and kill this, because you want to go for the flanks generally with your air, because it tends to be that's where the least amount of enemy AA is. And this is why you don't put 2 guys in one building. But it goes back to the execution thing, right? I don't think anybody watching is like, I love putting 2 guys in one building. There are specific use cases where it's actually a good idea, and it's where you want to kill somebody really quickly. You can just throw 2 guys in the, or like 4 guys in one building. Like something like double flash. It's really powerful in towns, or like double grenade launcher, or even double ATGM in one building. And as soon as that shot lands, you disperse, because undoubtedly, if you have 2 TOW2s in a building, or 2 Conkers in a building, you're gonna get hit. So it looks like Red's managed to remass. Now, you'll notice Blue had a massive unit advantage, and all of a sudden Red has all his guys back. Part of that is the cost effectiveness of these units. That's 30 points, that's 195, you know. Very powerful items. This is why you need 2. If you had 2, that'd be dead. The other part is, that must have fired. Must have fired and not moved. Side shot? No. The other part is Blue started buying planes. He bought 2 planes, LGBT, Seed, and he bought this. That's 3 minutes without frontline units. His opponent didn't do that. He actually stopped buying planes. It's like Blue's going to get in here, but he saw losing over here. The main issue Blue's got going late is that, as you'll know from the deck review, his infantry is like, it's all 2 vet infantry and stuff like that, and so he's going to struggle if he runs up. Excuse me, sorry, yeah, I keep hiccuping. He's going to struggle if it goes late, because he just doesn't have any infantry. Or he doesn't have enough infantry. This is a, you know, no cohesion, right? So this has broken tracks. We can't. So that's what the arty's for, really. Your tracks break on an enemy tank. You just want to be hitting that with arty basically immediately. This is an idea. It's only got 1 HP though, so it might just die here. Yeah. Seeds out. This is loaded up though, which is interesting. Red struggling to react to this, really. I mean, the idea is kind of nice. You block off the reinforcements. F-16 against 3 planes and a cub and 2 cubs. Obviously not going to win. So yeah, Rangers are in here. That's a good idea. I got lots though. Just needs to unload like immediately so I can shoot that. Although the seed's not around anymore. Losing a Hempt is a big deal because that's 2,000 supply. And yeah, I mean, Bluey's on the +3, mainly because Frenchie hasn't capped this. There you go, iHawk got another MiG-21, it does one-shot them. Yeah, he's not capped. What's this? Has he just forgot about it? So just forgot about it. And there you go, the arty's back on it. So 50 cal will stop this. And there you go, this might be some side shots. So if you're doing something like this, this is where the pivads would come in handy, because it's, you know... Or 1 stinger. Right. This can also be hiding a bit better, you can put it right behind there, and then he can't see it. Or once you cap it, you can just drive it out. Or you can get a smoke mortar and just smoke this constantly, right? And if they send a tank in, then your mech rifles law can kill it or whatever. So, looks like the M60s have managed to clean this out. I mean, it looks like most of Red's reinforcements have been coming over here to sort this out. Like, Red's got a lot of map control, but he's just not put any CVs in any zones, right? And his CV here, he just sort of forgot about and it got shot by arty. He could have driven it in here and capped this temporarily, although, as you can see, he's been out-infantryed. Honestly, he's buying too many T-72s and not enough BMP-1 plus inf. I think he needs a lot more of that, basically. He keeps going for these, like... It's like 95 points for that. But yeah, good hold from Blue. Mr. Cucumber. You see the effectiveness, like this is 30 points, it just killed a 130 point tank. It's very important. So, this can't shoot at helicopters. Although, there's no fighters hit, so if he noticed it, yeah, he's noticed it. He's going for the recon one first. I don't know if that's right, really, because this is a lot harder to kill than... because this only has 4 HP, so we could kill that really quick. And the recon one doesn't have a gun on it. But sometimes it can be better to kill the recon one, because then he can't see this. But right, so this needs to right-click out of that building and just go hide. Because, like, look, this has 40% ECM, so he's just missed both of his missiles and it's still alive. Right, 3rd time lucky. Because I don't think the guns are affected by ECM. M1 a bit low here, I'd probably pull that back, but he sorted this out. And, like, the ERP took some shots there. I don't know what's going on here, really. I think it's too close. But yeah, like, Red, he had 6 fighters, and I think they're all dead. Or repairing. Seed's back out. You can also use that on this, but, like, as you can see, Seed in this game is not very good. Oh, it's here. So yeah, this can shoot the missiles and it might hit it. It also might get one shot by a cub. Seed moment. He got a crit. So this is, I mean, that was like 50% accuracy. It's just vetted up from killing that, right? So 50% accuracy, 40% ECM. So that'll hit the minimum accuracy floor of 20%. So 20% chance to hit, followed by a 0.5% chance. So it's basically 0.5 times by, sorry, 0.05. 0.5 would be 50. 0.05 would be 5. 0.005%. Whatever. It's not very... that shouldn't really be happening, basically. This game really winds me up sometimes. I don't understand why they chose to go for this damage model. Well, I do really. It's because otherwise you have to have like big health bars, like Broken Arrow, and that can look a bit silly, like a little car surviving 2 shots from a tank. And it's just because, you know, in Warno the tank would miss the first time, and the second time it would one-shot it. So that's why it seems silly in Broken Arrow. But in Warno, yeah, you just miss sometimes, which is, from a competitive standpoint, farcical. I've lost and won games just purely off RNG. I remember a big tournament 2v2 in the finals. T-Man was on my team and he bought a Strike Eagle on this map. 40% ECM Strike Eagle, and he sent it out, and our opponent had bought 2 Cubs, and the 2 Cubs fired, they both hit and killed the Strike Eagle. And it was like, wow. It's like game losing. Like tournament finals with bailed out crits and stuff like that. Where's the transport? He switched it off at least, but where's the transport? Now you switch it on. Yeah, this is the issue with Seed. So this needs to left click on there. It needs to left click on there where it's shooting from. But yeah, Seed is a lot harder to use than generally. The main thing you'll get people with is the surprise factor. They tend not to switch off the AA on the first one. Or you have to have 2 planes. The first one is the Seed and the second one is the Bomber. And the Bomber just blows up the AA, while the Seed makes sure the AA can't shoot it, because it has to either stay on or you know. So yeah, he sold the transport, right? So he's managed to lose 2 of his Eyehawks now, which is not ideal. So it looks like Red still had some planes left. Blue turning away there. Gets missed. So Red's taken mid, he's got himself a +1, but Blue's pivoted to the left. This is where the recon helos come in super handy, because, I mean, you're doing this just expecting nobody to be there, and there isn't. But usually there really should have been somebody here, and they should shoot you, maybe side shot you, right? And maybe a plane might come. I suppose the fighter's up. Fighter needs to be over the tanks, the very exposed tanks without close range AA, with an Eyehawk with no rounds in it. But yeah, it looks like Blue's gonna get in. You know what they say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Red being a bit more cautious here, like he could just walk into here, but he assumes there'd be somebody there, because there should be. But there should have been somebody here, there wasn't, so... That's why the recon helos come in handy. Because then you can know. Also transport helos, like the Blackhawks and stuff, right, so when he dropped these off, did he sell the... Presumably sold the helos, right? He could have sent those over here, a great way to scout, because they've got higher availability and stuff like that. But yeah, this is pretty lit. I mean, it's actually like semi-realistic kind of tank, you know, spectacle. Wow, they're just driving and shooting, like in Desert Storm, incredible. And here comes the SU-25. Uh-oh. This ain't my grandfather's war. So, could have smoked there maybe, probably already used it. But yeah, this is like, I mean, he's got Pivads and Chaparrals in the deck. There should be a couple of those with it. And the fighter control needs to be a lot tighter. The fighters need to be near the helos, they need to be near the tanks. It all comes with practice, right? And this is why you don't just send your tanks out like that, because this kind of thing happens and, you know. Not sure why this is... Oh, actually, yes, I am. It's because this got fully suppressed. So yeah, these base Abrams, like, it costs less than a Challenger, and it's just way better because it's got 3 machine guns, and it's just way faster, and it's got less armor, which is a shame. I'm really looking forward to that first cav thing. Anyway, guys dying in transports here, just not paying attention. Okay, notice now. And I wonder what killed that. Oh no, I see. He just landed and got in, and they shot him to death once it had capped. So red on the +1, but the Abrams has got to here, and you know, once you get the infantry to here, well then they can't. Basically, they got to move infantry up to here and take that, and then take this, and you know, you're going to shoot them there, then you're going to fall back and shoot them here, and it's very hard to deal with. But yeah, like one... Okay, he's actually bringing a pivot and a chaparral now. But yeah, very dynamic game, right? I mean, red, he's pushed center, and he got this. He died for it, but... okay. Right, has this been shooting? I suppose so, it says it's reloading. Which means it has been shooting. And yeah, I don't understand the M113s with the ITOs. I just think that's a terrible idea. These aren't that cost effective, really. I mean, at 10 points more, you get BMP1. It's ridiculous, really. They used to have 3 front armor, and they just ruined it because they're like, not realistic. Now, excuse me while my T-72 goes backwards at 55 kilometers an hour. What? Oh, sorry, we can't fix that engine limitation. You know, our custom game engine that we make. Always cracks me up when people say that. That's an engine limitation. It's their engine. It's like the thing with the, you know, the sound scumming. People said engine limitation, and we said, or at least I said, and a lot of you guys said, thank you, we're just going to complain about this until you fix it, and then what do you know, that engine limitation, they managed to figure it out. They kind of messed up the implementation though, so you can still hear stuff if it's within 3 kilometers of any vehicle, of any infantry. So you can still sound scum, like, you know, in middle zones. It should just be you can't hear stuff you can't see, but yeah, whatever. At least it's better than it used to be. You can't hear stuff that's on the other side of the map. But in 1v1 you can sort of sound scum. I mean, honestly, it usually makes you lose. There's only one high-level player who does it, and that's that Pick It Up guy, who's like currently ranked 10. And he does do it. At least we're assuming he does it. I mean, he's not admitted to it, but we have a lot of cases of really interesting things happening, basically. So we're pretty sure he's set, because he's not hitting stuff at the back of the map, he's hitting stuff like sort of near the front lines, so yeah, you can do it on frontline units. The thing is, it usually makes you lose, because if you're just doing this, right, well, can I hear something? Oh yeah, there it is, yeah, oh yeah, I wonder what that is. Oh. And your enemy's clicking, well then obviously you're going to win. Whoever's clicking is going to win. So it looks like Frenchie's managed to get round here. The Rangers lead. I suppose they could come for this, with the Cubs up and the MiG-29's up. Really interesting game, I mean, look at this. So you would think that Red would be able to respond to these faster because of the helos. You know, the helo deployment on the Conkers and the Iglas and the 8V Zakari, but so far he's not really... Like, this is a good example of that. If these came over here, this would whack him now. 18 pen. Oh, there you go. So that he should get that C... Oh, it's just out of vision there. Side shot, so it's dead. There you go, see? So that sort of thing, right? And this is why the tanks don't go first. That's why you need something like a recon helo. Where you send those tanks forwards. Unless they're cheap tanks, in which case, you know. Anyway. So Frenchie here, I mean, he's just sort of forgotten about this CV again, right? He's got this in here, he knows it's empty, so now he needs to drive this in. Okay, he's noticed now. Got to turn around first. +3, I mean, this is going to come cap this now. Be interesting to see if... is there any Eyehawks left? Okay, there's one there. You should be able to see this. Oh, yeah. I didn't realise there was... There's a cub behind that. That's pretty funny. Anyway, the Eyehawks, you know, not moving. He did have a CV next to it, though, which is cool. So, Chaparral there. Yeah, Blue losing a lot. I mean, he's massively overextended, right? He's just trying to hold on so he can just win before the time runs out, I suppose. I mean, it would be very hard for Red to win at this point. Because, well, how's he going to get 1,700 points in 8 minutes? It's not going to stop him from trying, apparently. Yeah, T-72s, eh? 17 front armor so they don't get one shot by a Hellfire. P55s, 12 front armor so they don't get one shot by a Toto. How convenient. How convenient. So yeah, this thing has more armor, which is why even though it got a crit, which dealt one more damage, it didn't die. Although if he'd hit it in the side, that would have killed it. Because yeah, the armor, pretty sure that's what's going on there. Anyway, looks like Frenchie surrendered or ran out of time. Yeah, he surrendered. So you see the KD is actually in the 19th player's favour. 8th lost a lot at the end there. So we got rank 510. This is rank 110. So good showing from estimated Cucumber. It was a pretty interesting game actually. You saw the guys going here, there and everywhere. Look at that. Once you fire an ATGM you need to move. I mean this is just absurd. It's like every other kill is an Ito. That's But yeah, if you're not moving your ATGMs after you shoot, then an Ito is better than a Toto because you're going to lose less points when it dies inevitably. Yeah, a really interesting game with the M1s just flying around, but recon helos, man, super useful for and keeping those Blackhawks around, you know. Super useful for scouting those pushes and empty Blackhawk. Oh, there's nobody there. Tank can go there, you know, that sort of thing. Anyway, I'll see you around. GG.